everyone, welcome. I'm here today with Michael, one of the therapists here at Mayfield Counseling Centers. And today we're going to be talking about guilt and shame.
And now it's time for the Monday Minute. Okay, so we talk about a lot to our clients about shame and guilt. And sometimes in many ways, all of us deal with this in one way or the other. One of the things I heard a long time ago is when people, especially in a faith environment, they talk about hell and heaven, and they were saying something about, well, what is hell? And I said I heard one time that hell is living with your shame for eternity. I said, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot to carry and stuff. And I was like, so where does this come from? Where does this come? Was it imposed on us by our parents? Was it imposed on us by others? Did we feel not good enough? Was the guilt, from that? Does that always seem to pile up? And we seem to be carrying this bag that weighs down us heavy in each and every day.
So, why do you think that so many people struggle with being able to not live under the weight of shame?
We're always told that you have to be this way, that way, everything. We don't meet the blueprint.
Yeah.
But the blueprint is being free to express ourselves, free to state who we are, to love people genuinely, honestly, and to allow ourselves to simply let go. It sounds easy, but it's not.
So, in a lot of ways, it sounds like the struggle is that we are trying to be our authentic self and to relate with people authentically. But because of the pressure and the expectations put upon ourselves from others and also from ourselves, we struggle with that. We don't feel like we can relate genuinely and authentically because that's not the expectation that we think we should be meeting.
Yeah. If we were going to run a marathon, um, I'm a little bit older, and life is, a little bit more pains and issues than yourself. And my only thing I want to do when I run it is to enjoy it and to do the best I can. And simply put, that's enough. And for the same thing should be for you. Shame and guilt, get rid of it and allow ourselves to be who we are.
Shame and guilt can be such a crippling weight to carry. And like you said, the goal is for us to relate to the world and relate to ourselves authentically. And that can seem like a huge, insurmountable goal for a lot of people. So, what would you say would be a good first step for people when they're trying to tackle the weight of shame and guilt?
I want you to identify what it is. And if it's in the past, to identify what your actions were, positive or negative. Identify what you probably could have done to learn from the lesson. And then you have to first off forgive yourself. That allows us to move forward.
I like that. We're able to look at the past and learn from it because, hey, we may have made a mistake and we have something that we can grow from that past experience, but also that huge piece of forgive yourself. I think that the topic shame and guilt, that weight that we carry, can be so heavy sometimes. And we as therapists work with a lot of our clients' weight of shame and guilt. And I highly encourage anyone who is struggling with that heavy burden that if you need a safe place to come and maybe look at some of those past issues, work on changing the self-talk in your own mind when it comes to shame and guilt, and learn to forgive yourself and start relating to the world authentically. I highly recommend that you reach out to a professional counselor. Please reach out to Mayfield Counseling Centers if you're in the area, or look for a reputable counselor in your area who would be good for you to begin that journey. Well, thank you so much, Michael, for coming and talking with us today about shame and guilt. I hope you all have a great rest of your week. Have a nice, relaxing weekend. And I look forward to seeing you next week, Monday, for our next Monday Minute.